Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Autumn and I talk about the JET program and Japan and living in Japan and all things Japan. I wanted to come on here and do a unpopular opinions about the JET program. And these are all my opinions, and I just wanted to state that they are not fact, they are opinions, and everyone is entitled to their own. You can debate me in the comments if you want to, but like honestly, they're my opinions, so you're gonna be talking to a brick wall. Do with that information what you will. I don't care. There is no particular order to like which one I like the most as far as these opinions. I'm just gonna get right into it and go ahead. Asking for prefectures on the application of choice is stupid. I don't think that it should matter because they don't care anyway. I asked for Kansai region placements and I got placed in a completely different region. So I personally don't think it makes sense for them to even put it on the application because they're not going to follow it anyway. So some people think that it's a good idea to just tell them, you know, what you're into, but like honestly, most JET participants don't get their choice in the first place. So don't put it on the application. Unpopular opinion. I feel like if you are not willing to be anywhere in Japan, you shouldn't come to Japan at all. So just don't put anything at all. That's what I would say. That's my unpopular opinion. I think that JET should only hire people with experience, work experience. Because for most people, this is their first job straight out of college, straight out of uni, and they've never had a job before. And I feel like it's a little unfair to taint a young person's work life with that of the Japanese work life culture. I think that getting experience in your own country first would kind of like set you up for maybe how you would experience and deal with things in Japan. And I understand that like everybody's got to start somewhere, but I just don't think that Japan is the place to start your career escapade, if that makes sense. But that's just me. I'm just saying. It just doesn't make sense to not have work experience and then come to Japan and try to work. I feel like you should have at least a little bit of experience and able to even apply to the JET program. My next unpopular opinion is I think that the JET program should have a mandatory 2-year setup. So your first contract should be that of 2 years. And the reason why I say this is because most JETs get here in August and then they are asked to recontract at late November for another year. A lot of people don't really know what they're gonna do, and I feel like if you just go ahead out the gate and tell them that this is gonna be a 2-year thing, we would cut out all the unsure people. Like, not saying that there aren't going to be people that still break their contract. Of course, that's people break their contract all the time. But I feel like if you give people an expectation that 2 years is required of them to do this, then I feel like a lot of people won't come as much. And let me explain. I feel like there's a lot of JET program participants here who are just trying to fulfill a want of living in another country for just a few months or just a year, or wanting to finish off some type of like leftover business from a study abroad, or just wanting to experience Tokyo. And I feel like that's cool and all, but they can do that on their free time. I feel like if the JET program makes it a mandatory 2-year thing, you're gonna get a little bit more serious applicants that are serious about actually living and working in Japan and that are not just trying to check off some type of bucket list. So, I mean, fight me in the comments if you agree or you disagree, because I actually do want to know about that. Like, what do you guys think? Okay, so I know that all my UK peeps are going to be upset at me, but I think that the JET program should actually not hire as many UK and Australian jets as they do already. Even like Filipino jets. For me, it makes more sense to hire more Americans because you're going to get a bigger diaspora of language within that area. Plus, it doesn't make sense if the curriculum is based off of American English, but you're bringing a British person in to help them say American words. These kids have British accents because they have British teachers. And like, not that accents destroy a language, but accents are dealt with culture. And if you're teaching American English, the culture kind of like is interweaved in how we say things, like aluminum, not aluminium. And I think that it just kind of makes sense to just hire Americans, like, primarily. Like, I get it, it's all about the culture exchange, but like, why are there so many British people? Like, even Canada is a good, like, bring Canadians and Americans over. But British and Australian, I feel like the accents are really, really thick. So it's kind of hard to, like, understand. And therefore, if a Japanese child is learning British accents or Australian accents, depending on how thick they are, sometimes we're not saying the same things. We're not saying the same things in class. This may be an unpopular opinion, but this also actually might be a popular opinion. I don't know about other people, other jets, but I do feel like the JET program needs to hire more people of color. And I'm talking like Pacific Islander, African American, like if you are not Caucasian or white, you should be hired for this. Because I think that Japanese people are actually truly interested in getting to know other races. I just think that all they have to choose from are white people. So they don't get to experience this or this. They just see white. And I feel like if the JET program had more people of color, more African Americans, more black people, more Samoan people, more Filipino people, that would actually strengthen the ideas and the views that Japanese people have on minorities from other countries. But I mean, I guess I get it. There's a lot of like systemic racism that goes into that type of stuff, so we're not even gonna touch on that, like not in this video. But I think that would really, really help for more reason than one. Another unpopular opinion that I have kind of is from the inside. Like, a lot of people applying probably wouldn't understand, but the work culture that Japan holds and then the values of the JET program do not align. So, for example, you've got the JET program that wants to exchange cultures and make sure that both, like, Japanese and the JET is exchanging cultures back and forth. You're really getting to know each other, getting to know each other's cultures. But then you have the school boards of education that don't give a flip about that stuff at all. They teach this drone, like, robotic English and be done. I feel like because the two entities are on two different pages, a lot of times the JET participant is kind of in the middle and like in limbo. Like, I want to help them learn more about my culture, but also they have to learn like past tense, progressive, like whatever. And I feel like if they just got on the same page, then maybe everybody would be like gelled together. But then that would require changing a Japanese system, which, unpopular opinion here, maybe we shouldn't change their systems because this isn't our country. So like leave them alone. Just, that's what I don't know. I just feel like it would work more smoothly with exchanging cultures if we were all actually exchanging cultures and not just solely teaching English. I feel like the goal is lost after you've hired the jet, because I can exchange my culture only so much, but we still have to kind of focus on the grammar. So it's lost in translation somewhere along the line. Ooh, this is my unpopular opinion, but it may actually be like a popular opinion. Stop taking advice from people on Reddit. Stop taking advice from people on Reddit about the JET program. Those people on Reddit are bitter. I don't know if y'all have ever read those like who, like, ooh, who hurt you, baby? Like, there's a lot of people on Reddit, regardless of if they've even lived, some of them I don't even think have even lived in Japan, that are just giving advice about the JET program that have never stepped foot in this country. Like, that have never applied to the program, that are just going off of hearsay. And I don't think, like, that's weird. That's weird. But it's unpopular because there's a lot of people who are going to say, like, oh, well, my situation was valid. This is how I felt. And I get that. But you're also, like, it's really difficult to explain, because you want to explain to people the good and bad of whatever they're getting into when it comes to the JET program. However, there's so much bad that there's no room for the good. Like, no one ever has anything good to say. And one thing I learned by working in the hotel industry for so many years is that people will hoop and holler about the bad they experienced, but never say anything about the good that they experienced. And I feel like that is Reddit, like, in a nutshell. I feel like if you are having a similar bad experience, yes, go to Reddit, see what other people have done about it. But if you don't have any tainted experiences, don't go to Reddit and read those comments and read those posts, because people are bitter. People are angry. And when people are angry, they shout louder than people who are happy. Just simple as that. Stop looking at Reddit. Not even for, like, at this point, not even for prep. Don't even look at it for prep. Just find you a video on YouTube. And then that leads me into my next tip. Unpopular opinion is stop watching these old YouTubers. These old, like, I'm talking like 5-6 years back YouTubers of advice. There's tons of us out here that are on the JET program that have more up-to-date advice. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the stuff is always going to be standing, like as far as like apartment tours and like how to deal with fumikumi and stuff like that. Like that stuff's going to always stand strong. However, the JET program application is not the same as it used to be 5 years ago. The jets themselves are not the same that they used to be 5 years ago. Technology is like 10 times more complicated and interesting than it was 10 years ago. So, like, you're watching these older JET program videos about how it is to live in Japan 10, 15 years ago, when, like, TikTok wasn't even a thing. Like, you have to be more with the times. And this is not like a promo to promote me, like, watch me. I'm just saying that there's a lot of younger, more current JET program, like, people out there now in 2023 that have information that you could benefit from. I love my classic people. They've really helped me. Like, I just feel like if you're gonna watch a JET program advice video or video based on the JET program at all, it should be within the last 5 years. And if it's not, then I don't know what to tell you. I personally wouldn't watch any JET program videos from more than 5 years ago. And that's even standing, like, if you're seeing this video and it's been 5 years since this video is out, please go find another person to watch their video, because they may have more up-to-date advice than I do. So, ooh, unpopular opinion. So, I don't know how the UK and Australia and Canada do their JET program stuff, but America does not and should give people a psychological evaluation before they come into this program, because I have met so many jets that have just been like legitimately psychopathic to the point where I'm just like, how did you pass the interview? How did you do that? Like, there's a lot of crazy behind people on this program. There's a lot of insensitive people on this program. There's a lot of rude people on this program. There's a lot of people on this program that are just entitled for the sake of being on the program. And I feel like a psych eval should be required just to make sure people are not crazy as hell. I mean, as simple as that. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are going to say that that's not okay because they don't want their public information or their information, what's up here, taken and used against them. But I feel like that it would really stop a lot of crazies coming into this program. I've met a number of real strange individuals. So, like, there's no lights on inside. Like, there's nothing there. Like, whew, you giving me Bundy vibes. Whew. So, yeah. My other unpopular opinion is that the CIR position for the JET program should be for older people. I don't think that it should be for fresh out of college people. I don't really truly mind if, like, ALT positions like my own are out straight out of college, because, like, if you've got work experience, then what does it matter? Like, as long as you know how to work in an environment and not piss off your coworkers, like, go ahead, right at it. But for CIRs, because they do so much on the government level and, like, translation and, like, working with the community, I feel like having an older person in that position is just a little bit smarter, because at that point they've got life experience that's going to help them kind of shape how they should present themselves and how they should be working in an environment when it comes to Japanese people. Like, every now and again someone's gonna mess up in an ALT position, but I feel like in CIR position you got to be able to hold yourself a certain way. And unfortunately there's a lot of people that just can't do that when they come straight out of college. Like me, when I was in my early 20s, I was reckless. I was mean. I was feisty. Like the literal definition of a firecracker. I would not be able to do a position like that in my early 20s. I just would not be able to do that. So, unpopular opinion, I guess, whatever. My other unpopular opinion is that the JET program training that you have during orientation should include how to, I wouldn't say assimilate, because you shouldn't lose your own identity, but how to blend in with Japanese society. I feel like the training in the beginning of the program is really unrealistic to what you're going to experience in the program and working every day. It's less, like I said, it's less about culture exchange and more about like what's being taught. And I feel like that comes into play when it comes to getting to know and working with your coworkers. There were things that I didn't know that maybe I should have known, that I could have known had it been trained on during orientation, instead of like little stuff like how to teach a rowdy class. I need to know more how to work with Japanese people. And then that leads me into my next point, which is the JET program actually doesn't provide as much mental health stability as you think that it does. I feel like it's been said by many people that I've come in contact with that mental health, it seems to be like mental health is truly a one-man fight over here. I personally am okay for now, but it's your soul. The only people that you can truly reach out to are your board of education. And if your board of education isn't as lit as mine and as cool as mine, a lot of people don't have anybody. So I think that the JET program should have a little more hands-on and hands-in the bucket when it comes to stuff like that, so that people don't feel isolated and people don't feel left out or like, just thrown out to the wayside when they're going through something mentally taxing, especially moving to another country. Like, I don't know, maybe they should improve that system. I'm just saying. And my last unpopular opinion is that if you went to college, if you went to university for teaching, regardless of what the situation is, you should get a job within this company. I don't understand why teachers with years of experience are being rejected. It does not make any sense. Those are the people you should want to be on this program, because those are the people who know how to do this, know how to deal with children, know how to exchange their lives with a child every day. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I get it. It's more about, on the JET program side, it's more about exchanging culture, and maybe there may be something that they think that you can't handle. But I feel like there should be more people who are accepted on the JET program if you have a teaching degree. It should be an automatic, like, we will take a look at you. You should at least be able to get an interview. If you can't hold yourself up in an interview, then that's on you, but like, you should at least be able to get an interview with a teaching degree. And there's a lot of people that I know that have gotten rejected, and they have so many qualifications. And then that leads me into like another tip, which isn't exactly my last tip, I guess. I don't know. Was that one wasn't my, this is my last tip. This is my last one. My last unpopular opinion. I feel like the JET program is being run by somebody who's just like oblivious completely, because the amount of people that don't get into the program versus the amount of people that do get into the program that are like bat crazy, like drink every day, got high crazy issues, what like insane. The stories I have heard, you guys, it's insane. Those people get into the program, but the people who work hard and really truly want this don't get in. I mean, I'm a perfect example. I mean, I didn't get in my first time. I had to fight to get into here. And this is probably the best job I've ever had. And I've been working for almost 12 years. Like, this is the best job I've had. And it's just because I love the students so much. It's not making sense. But anyway, these were my unpopular opinions. I don't know if all of them are truly unpopular. I just felt like it was controversial. A lot of them are controversial. And if you want to fight me about it, then you can. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. If you are on the JET program, or if you were on the JET program and you have an unpopular opinion about the JET program, please put it in the comments, because I really want to know. There's a lot that I haven't experienced. I've only been here for less than a year. So there's a lot that I have not experienced yet, and I would love to read it. However, we are not Reddit, so we don't do none of that bitter negativity craziness in the comments. Don't do none of that. I want to hear your stories, but keep it sweet, okay? Keep it sugar over here. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. I was going to say that an unpopular opinion is not having insulation in these dang homes. It's cold, boy. It's cold. It's starting to heat up, but it was a cold winter. It was not fun. I don't do the cold. I am black. We don't do that.